been a softening of the rental market, and of course, there are a few factors that has contributed to the softening of the market. So today, I just want to go over a few of them, so that way we have a good understanding of what's going to happen. And I feel like these are the things that are impacting the market right now, may continue for the next 6 to 12 months.
They say this is a big rich town.
Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. Welcome back to the Rich Experience Real Estate Network. Today I want to discuss the rental market. As many of you have seen in the news, there has been a softening of the rental market, and of course there are a few factors that has contributed to the softening of the market. So today I just want to go over a few of them, so that way we have a good understanding of what's going to happen. And I feel like these are the things that are impacting the market right now, may continue for the next 6 to 12 months. So it's good to get it out and open, so at least we have a good understanding of what may continue to happen. Now, one of the things that is a driving force in the rental market is immigration. So normally when a family or a person immigrates to Canada, they will typically get into a rental. There are times, a small percentage that do have money, they will probably sell property back home or whatever the case is, and then they will actually have the ability to purchase a property, but that's a very small percentage. More than likely, they're coming here, they're renting, and they're saving money in hopes to get their property, purchase a property later on. So this year we saw a 64% decrease in immigration so far. For the first half of the year, there was 100,000 immigrants, just over 100,000 immigrants, and we're expecting 341,000. So this is in the first half of the year. Even if we get half of that, that still is a major difference as far as the many people coming into the country who are contributing to the economy, who are contributing to the housing market. And we know that immigration is a big driving force in the rental market and in the real estate market in general. So I think that's going to continue to have an impact until travel restrictions are lifted, until things get back to normal. So I think that will continue to have an impact on the market itself. So we're going to continue to see supplies on the supply side. We're going to continue to see a lot of supplies, and we're going to continue to see a little bit of softening based on just the immigration part itself. Another thing to consider is foreign students. So foreign students probably won't be returning anytime soon. Again, once again, that's due to the whole COVID-19 situation and travel restrictions. Now, if there is a vaccine, which probably will happen in the next few months, then once the students get their vaccine, they're able to come back and they're able to go back to classrooms, then we could see that changing. But the thing is, with the whole COVID-19 and the vaccine, I feel like it's a mutating virus. So even when there is a vaccine available, I don't think we'll fully be able to return back to normal for the very near future. So I think that has an impact on the market right now. That will continue to have an impact in the next 6 to 12 months. Also, one of the things to consider is the younger generation. So these guys who are out on their own, they're working in the gig economy or the service industry, and obviously a lot of those jobs were lost. So if they were living by themselves or with a roommate, they probably have made that decision, you know what, to go back home, live with mom and dad for a while until things get better. So even though jobs are improving right now, there's still a big sector within the service industry, within the gig economy, that we won't see those jobs return for a while. So it's going to be a process. Eventually, things will get back to normal, jobs will return, but this is also something to consider. It's a very small percentage, but it is a contributor as well in the rental market. Now, one of the major things that happened due to the COVID-19 was Airbnb situation. So travel, again, has to do with travel restrictions, tourism. So these guys who were doing short-term rentals, these investors and landlords who were doing short-term rental, they were no longer able to get their property leased out on a short-term basis. So what they've done, they've decided to do long-term leases, which makes sense. It's better to do a long-term lease and try to get someone in your property rather than let it sit there and having to pay a mortgage for a vacant property. Now, with all this being said, all this contributing factor, like it has had an impact on the market. And as you can see, it's more of an impact on the condo market itself and more affecting the Toronto market. As you can see, between last year and now, there's probably about a $200 difference that you were paying in rent in Toronto. Another thing to consider is the Ontario government is proposing a bill for rent freeze for 2021. They're going to be presenting this bill to the in fall. It's more than likely that bill will pass. So they're continuing to try to help people along the way and doing the best they can to figure things out. So from a landlord perspective, as an investor perspective, the market is definitely softening up. In my opinion, I don't feel like it's going to recover anytime soon. Based on everything that's happening right now, this is going to be a short to long-term thing. So we have to figure out how to navigate. And for landlords, for investors, I mean, it's been pretty decent for most of you. Most of you guys have done well. You bought the properties when prices were good, so you were making positive cash flow. But now's the time to kind of figure this thing out, and you know what, just make the hard decisions right now and get someone into your unit, because you know what, it's always better to have someone make a little less money, get someone in your unit rather than have to pay mortgage for vacant property. So try to get someone in there. There are some landlords right now that they're offering a month's free just so they can secure that lease. So the goal is to secure that lease, get someone in there, so that way you can ride this wave out and absorb the little bit of shortfall for the time being, and eventually things will return back to normal. Now, as far as tenants goes, you guys have the opportunity now to negotiate. So the ball's in your court. So if you're coming up for renewal, if your lease is coming up for renewal, you definitely have the ability to renegotiate. And you know what, as long as it's fair, you know what, but you definitely have the ability to negotiate with your landlord. And you know what, you can negotiate for something that's a little lower, and you have the ability to negotiate on your terms at this moment. So I feel like everyone can work together in this moment in time, and as we get through this in the next 6 to 12 months, and eventually things will kind of return to normal. But that's the situation right now. As far as the rental market goes, I definitely feel this is going to be something that's going to last 6 to 12 months. And then once the job returns, once we get a vaccine, once we return back to normal, then we should be able to resolve this, and we should be able to get back to a more stable market, I guess, for the rental part of it. Also, so as you guys have seen, there has been a 20% increase in prices in Toronto homes. So my next video will be on market update. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be next week. If you guys feel like this information I shared today was good, definitely feel free to share it. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so that way you get my latest videos. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Take care for now.